Hey, what is going on, guys? My name is Ben. How are you guys doing today? So apparently Apple, first of all, I do apologize for not bringing this video up yesterday. I got held back with some things, so now I'm going to post it today of this week. So hopefully you guys do enjoy it. But apparently Apple is in a lawsuit right now because there are still people out there who are using an iPhone 4S running iOS 9. Now, you guys can already hint on what I'm talking about other than the title of this video is, of course, an iPhone running older software, an older operating system version. Therefore, the phone slows down. And you know, when the iPhone 4S first shipped out, it came preloaded with iOS 5. iOS 6 was fine on it. iOS 7, you know, it's still okay, but it started to get a little bit laggy. Then iOS 8, I'm 100% sure it made it even worse. And then iOS 9 is just like, okay, well, what is it doing to itself? Now, I mean, I mentioned this before multiple times. The way Apple does their products is a device always comes to a certain firmware version where it's going to start to bog down. I mean, my iPhone 5 right now is on iOS 9, and while it does seem to be a little bit better than what I've used in the past, I mean, I noticed that it little lags at some point. And, you know, these things happen, not just Apple devices, you know, happens with tons of Android devices out there too, because they're made by multiple manufacturers and they have different standards. So therefore, you know, their hardware depends on, okay, which one's going to last longer, which ones won't. You know, Apple controls everything, so it's pretty much dead on that we know for sure know what's wrong with an Apple product. And maybe some of you guys are scratching your heads being like, okay, other companies are doing the same thing as well. Well, how come they're not getting sued? Well, from my point of view, like I said before, multiple manufacturers on Android, they each have their own standards. Apple is the only one that makes iPhones. So therefore, all the standards are pretty much theirs. And they have it set specifically to something. But I mean, this isn't the first time this happened. I mean, back then with the iPhone 3G running iOS 4, and then somebody complained about it. You know, therefore Apple got a lawsuit over there as well. And as far as the iPhone 4 or the 3GS is concerned, I mean, I haven't heard anything about those, but you definitely notice a bog down. You know, especially with the iPhone 4 running iOS 7. That was a big no-no. So, I mean, people are complaining because they feel like this is Apple's way of pushing customers into buying new products, therefore having to spend more money. And, you know, Apple does want everybody to have the latest and greatest of their products, but at the same time, not everybody can afford it. Therefore, Apple understands that. That's why they make the older phones cheaper. And then at some point, they stop selling them, even if they were selling it for free on a 2-year contract. But then again, it's like, oh, well, why bother updating these devices if you know it's going to slow down at some point? Might as well just keep them on their current version. Well, the issue with this is application support. So, you know, when you first get your new iDevice and then you start using all your apps, that's great, and then all of a sudden it comes down to like, okay, you download an app, but it doesn't work. Why? Because your hardware is not supported, and it needs the latest operating system or a certain version of the iOS operating system in order to operate. I mean, that's the reason why people will have to buy new phones. Whereas some people, I guess, from what it seems like, there are some people with a smartphone, but all they need it is for email, internet, and phone calls, as well as text messaging. You know, like, it sounds like these are the kind of people who can care less for apps. And then for the ones who needs apps but don't want to spend a lot of money on a new phone, are complaining about how slow and buggy their device is. I don't know. I mean, the point is that, I mean, we already know how the Apple pattern works. Each device has a certain firmware update where eventually it'll be its last, or it's going to make the device run very slow and laggy. And I've seen it happen before. It happened with the iPhone 3G. It happened with the iPhone 4. It happened with my iPod Touch 5th generation as well. I mean, that thing came preloaded with iOS 6, and then now it's running iOS 9 point whatever the latest version is, and that thing is really slow right now. I don't know about the 6th generation iPod Touch because I didn't purchase that one yet. I'm not sure if I even will, but my iPod definitely does bog down. However, my iPhone 5 is doing a lot better than the iPod Touch 5th generation due to its specific hardware. And I feel like the hardware that's found in the iPhones, or the components that Apple installs into the iPhones, are better quality and better spec wise than the iPod Touch 5th generation, because the iPod is meant for music, videos, entertainment, MP3 device with a touchscreen. Therefore, Apple feels like it doesn't require a lot of power. Although that's an issue when it comes to games. But anyway, yeah, people are complaining because they're trying to save money on the phone, and they don't want to spend a lot of money on the phone at the same time. Therefore, they look for cheaper alternatives, but they have to make sure it fits into their personal needs. Like with smartphones these days. Alright, well, what do I need this for if I have a cell phone plan on it? Okay, what I need is phone calls, text messaging, email, and internet. That's all I need in a phone. I mean, apps do help, but if you don't download a lot of apps every week or every month, then I'm pretty sure the older smartphone will be fine. Now, if you just full-blown out download apps every day, or you have tons of apps, I would say you should look at getting a new phone. So what do you guys think about this? Do you guys feel like Apple should not have pushed out the iOS 9 update for the iPhone 4S? And you know what? The article that I read, which the link will be in the description below, was even suggesting at the time to not update iPhone 4S to iOS 8, because that's when it started to bog down really quick. Alright, so what do you guys think? Apple should have pushed the update? Yes or no? I'd like to see what you guys say in the comments down below. Thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe, rate, comment. Also check out my social media links in the description, Twitter and Instagram. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.